So one of my big ambitions for this whole podcast thing is just to get people motivated, give you a little extra drive if you don't have any drive, let you know there's some hope, maybe give you some ideas on what you can do to better your life, increase your finances, or whatnot. One thing that is for sure is there's a lot of things you can do, but I know a lot of people are just wrapped up in daily life, especially if you're like young parents, you got young kids, like the day-to-day grind. I get it. Like you're working, you've got kids, you're running around to baseball games or whatever. That 15 years, from zero to when your kid's 15 years old, 16 years old, you're pretty busy with that. I get it. But if you think about how much time you spend in the evening on Netflix or scrolling on your phone on Facebook, you've got downtime. It's just that you've got to swap that effort. And when you're not into it, you're just hearing me say that kind of stuff. You're like, I'm not there. I'm not into that. I don't want to do that. Like, I want to fuck off. I want to zone out and just kill time. I get it, but you got to force yourself to realize, and especially if you're somebody that's working a job that's mediocre to poor, or your finances are mediocre to poor. That's the person, you're the person that needs to hear me, listen to me, and focus on the next time you open up Facebook or Instagram, be like, no, I'm not doing that. And go look at the stock market or go to YouTube. Don't watch, stupid shit on YouTube. Watch educational things about finances. I know that sounds so lame and boring. I get it. But what happens is that becomes your hobby. Instead of playing Candy Crush Saga or Solitaire on your phone, when you get involved with finances and you start to learn what's going on, it's unreal. It is really unreal. It's literally you become the minority. There's so many people that just don't know the basics of finances, the things that make the world go around, how to invest, how to increase your net worth. What I want to challenge people to do, if you're at ground zero, you're listening to me and you're about to just turn the channel or shut this off, I challenge you to take a certain amount of money that's worth something to you, but not going to break the bank. Say it's $100, or say you've got a little more net worth in the bank account, and you're like, I got $1,000 I could just do something with right now. I challenge you to start a brokerage account. And what you want to do, there's so many different brokerages, but I encourage you to use a brokerage account where you can buy multiple assets, meaning you can buy crypto or you can buy into the stock market. I use crypto.com. Coinbase is a great company. They're a Fortune 500 company now, American company. So Coinbase, I actually am going to start using them. And Robinhood is another one. These are platforms where you can buy stocks and you can buy crypto. Go make that your chore for tomorrow. Just create an account. Get your personal information in there. Work on funding it. And then the next day, or it might take a couple of days for your money to get from your bank account or whatnot, get transferred into that brokerage account. And then start looking into, okay, what am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? Hit me up. I'll make some solid recommendations, things that are growing really well right now, not through the roof, things that are moderate in risk, but have that growth. I have things in my portfolio that are high, medium, low. Things that are and the low stuff is growing more than most people's, more than the S&P 500 year to date. So anyways, start making those steps. And the goal is to be, say in this year, okay, you create that brokerage account and you funded it and you bought some stocks, you bought some crypto. Say it's $1,000 and your goal is to turn that into 10,000. And it is very doable in a short amount of time. When I say a short amount of time, I mean what's going on in the world right now, that it could be done within a year or two, 5 at most. $1,000, just that $1,000. You just put that in there, $10,000. It's actually, if you get into the right cryptos and you move now, you can make it happen within a year. $1,000 to 10,000, or your $100 into 1,000. So whatever it is, just get $10. Take $10 if you're like broke and you're like, oh, I have no money, I don't have $100. $10. Take that $10 and deposit it, and see if you could turn that into 100, and let that sink in. If it does, just be like, you know what? I just 10x'd my money. I took $10 and turned it into it. What if I turned that 100 into 1,000? And then you turn that, but get your feet on the ground, and then you'll have more confidence. You start to deposit. You start taking your check instead of buying a new car, or you get that bonus at work, and instead of taking a vacation or whatever, you know what I'm saying. You start allocating money to this, and you make your money grow. That would be my advice to a lot of people that are struggling. Maybe you got a dead-end job that you'll never go anywhere. You'll never make a lot of money, or you make a lot of money, but it's just not enough. You need more, or you want to retire earlier, or you want to retire with more. In most cases, everybody wants more. Even if you're that high-income person right now, you want more. And some of those people they're lucky, they got high income, but maybe it's a non-fulfilling job. You know what I mean? They're just clocking in. They make good money. There's a lot of those people out there. And so, what happens if you don't know the stock market, you don't know crypto, you don't know investing at all, you get that fulfillment. Maybe you're lacking that fulfillment at work, and you get that fulfillment. You get your finger on the pulse. You understand what's going on in the economy. You know everything about interest rates, about inflation. You know what's going on. Is Trump going to lower interest rates? If he does, guess what's going to happen? Assets are going to go up. Liquidity is going to come into the system. Liquidity comes into the system. That means people get money. The Feds start printing money. The banks start lending money. They lower interest rates, and now money starts moving, okay? They call that money velocity. It starts changing hands faster, and the world just starts happening really fast. And like I said, all that money starts ending up in assets, crypto, stock market, real estate market, all these things. So it becomes a hobby. It becomes very fun. Making money is fun. Today I had a great day. I watched Bitcoin specifically go up $7,000. And I've been preparing for this for a year and a half. Last year, a year and a half, it was December of 23. Bitcoin was at $42,000 when I finally said, I am getting in this. This has gotten ridiculous at 40,000. I thought, it's ridiculous at 40,000. How is this at 40,000? How is this still going on? And now today I'm going, well, that's when I opened my eyes. I said, I'm buying in. I'm buying in. Guess what it is today? $117,000. And guess what it's going to be in a couple more years? Guaranteed $1 million. One Bitcoin. Mark my words. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The whole financial world is being developed around cryptocurrencies. If you've watched an ounce of the news or what Trump talks about, a portion of his plan is cryptocurrencies, deregulating cryptocurrencies, the stable coin, the Genius Act. All these different things are things he's working on. Why do you think he's going to do it? because it's going to move money. It's going to make a new asset class. It's going to move trillions into cryptos. When cryptos bang, the economy bangs, just like when the real estate market bangs. It creates more taxes for the feds. Anyways, plus we all know the Trumps are involved. Trump is a winner. He's a winner. He's a winner. He loves to make money. And his boys, Trump Jr., Eric Trump, those guys are in on it too. So he's going to make regulations to where crypto is going to bank. Not only crypto, if you're not into crypto, the stock market. The stock market is through the roof. It's going to go, they're saying now, all-time highs at the end of this year. So you have a very, very high chance. There's a lot of optimism. You can make a lot of money this year and next year. Who knows, 5, 10 years, especially if you get in crypto, get a percentage of your money, 1%, 5%, whatever. Just go, if I lose this $500, who cares? But you're most likely going to look at that $500. It's going to end up being $1,000, 2,010. Before you know it, you're going to go, oh, crypto's pretty cool. But anyways, take some money today, tomorrow. Start that brokerage account. Coinbase, Robinhood, Crypto.com. Just Google it. You'll find something. But find one of those American companies, like Coinbase would be great. They're a solid company, very solid company, and I would advise you to use them and get it funded with whatever dollar amount you have. You need some advice on what to buy. I can help, and I love helping. It doesn't burden me one bit. So message me. I'll help. You can always just Google it. You can put money straight up just into an index fund, which is broadly invested into, the S&P 500. So you'll get good returns there. Not great, but I'd say start picking your own stocks though. Get your mind in the game. Know what companies are good. Is Apple good? Is Tesla good? All these are good. They're all Mag 7s. They're what's killing it. So anyways, don't want to drag this on. Do something today with a little bit of money. Start a brokerage account. Get things going. And you'll start growing from here to the rest of your life. I'm so excited about the rest of my life because I started doing this. It's a new hobby. And I make money for a hobby. And it's great. So my retirement's going to be better. I might be able to retire sooner. Not might, I am. And all kinds of things. So maybe you're at a level where you're like, you don't even think you can retire. Well, maybe in 5 or 10 years, you'll be thinking, wow, I get to retire. So anyways, all right, guys, cheers.